any report by anybody about I didn't express an opinion, because my opinion may be construed to mean the opinion of the chairman of the PDP. So I didn't express any opinion. What I did was to align with the party position, and that's what it is.
So now, the governor of Ebonyi State, very experienced, very no doubt, also the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, when he says that people from other regions should not dictate who is chosen from the East.
Yes.
To ascend to that position of vice president. What does this spell out to people watching now? Does it tell them that, for instance, there could have been a better way to go about this? Is that the case?
No, the governor made a point that there was some consultation in Abuja and there was no governor from the Southeast in that group of consultation. That was the point he made at the meeting. And we all said, well, the presidential candidates have said, point taken, I'm going to meet with you when I return. And I will explain what has happened. Because the story is about certain consultation having taken place without the Southeast, any Southeasterner or the Southeast governors. So that was the point the governor made at the meeting. And I believe that his point was an important point to him, and he made it quite strongly. And we all reasoned with him that it would be better to speak this, to discuss this with the presidential candidate himself when he returns.
So why then was he concerned that out of the nominees that were made, there wasn't anyone from Ebonyi State,
yes.
There wasn't anyone from Imo State.
Yes.
And then he's asking the question, is there anything wrong with the Ebonyi man? You know, this as little as it may seem, is very, very important, because he fears that the reason why this is happening is the Ebonyi man doesn't want to be marginalized any further in the scheme of things in 2019 and ahead.
So that's why I said he's the governor of Ebonyi. He has every right to push an Ebonyi agenda. Every right. And I believe that that, for me, means that he's a representative of the people of Ebonyi State. He's the chief spokesperson for Ebonyi State people. So they must expect him to represent their interests everywhere the issue of the Southeast is being discussed.
Will it be represented now on Atiku's return?
No. The matter is gone. We're done with the nomination. What he's saying is that if going forward there will be nominations from the Southeast, they should be sensitive to the diversity of the Southeast. And I think it's a valid point from anybody. I'm from Anambra State, so we are the ones that he said we had 2 nominees on the list. But I believe that, yes, it's a point. If I were to make a list from the Southeast, I will try to make sure that, but that's not Governor Pt.2's problem. He didn't make the list. He didn't ask anybody how the list came about. So it is the governor, I'm sure, making a point that people must understand the diversity of the Southeast, and that the Southeast doesn't start and end with just one state or 2. So, but that said, I believe it is representation by a governor of his people, and it's a valid point. But I think the presidential candidate will note that going forward.
Now, let me ask you this question, because we just want to have everything as clear as possible. Yes. A list was presented. A nominee list was presented. We didn't have anyone from Imo State. We didn't have anyone from Ebonyi State. Do those people in those states now feel excluded from the process?
Of course, it's not going to be only the vice president that will be nominated by PDP as we go into the elections. Pre- and post-elections, there are multiple nominations the president will make. And my point was that, yes, it's okay for the representative of Ebonyi to make that point, and or Imo State for that matter. It's a very valid point to make. And it is good for everybody to note the diversity of the Southeast. But I don't think it will amount to what I would call a marginalization of Ebonyi and Imo State. I think for the purpose of the point made, the party notes it, and we'll look into that going forward.
So it's agreed now. Peter Obi stays as the nominee of Atiku to run for 2019.
Done deal.
Okay, now we have a new twist to the whole arrangement leading up to the 2019 general elections. Saraki, Dr. Bukola Saraki, the President of the Senate, is now the Director General, is confirmed, Director General of the Atiku Campaign Organization. What mileage will this bring to the Atiku campaign?
A lot of mileage. First, I must say that INEC will have to learn a lesson from the PDP about the transparency of a process. Once a process is transparent, once a process is legitimate, once a process meets the standards of right-thinking people, the average standards of transparency by right-thinking people, people are bound to accept the outcome of that process. So this is one time that presidential candidates have gone through a process and all of them have agreed at the outcome because the process was clean. Therefore, going forward into the election, you can see that all the presidential candidates are accommodated in the Presidential Council, led by Bukola Saraki, who is going to be the Director General of the campaign. It shows you about the unity of the... It's a very interesting point to note that in 2014, when the PDP had a sole candidate in President Jonathan, the APC went through a serious primaries. And the process was adjudged to be free and fair, that all the candidates who were involved in all the aspirants accepted the result. It's curious that in 2015, the reverse is the case. It's flipped. Now, in APC, they are writing 14 million results now to elect a president, when the party does not have 14 million members. If the party had 14 million members and collect 100